robots today, then they can drive cars and they can write social posts that are indistinguishable by human. So will robots in the future be able to assist creators of advertising? So if we see the low ROIs of many ads today, this would be a good thing, right? So that's why we started the Artificial Creativity Project, to find out whether or not AI can help us. We did first a giant copy test in 6 different product categories, hundreds of ads. So we measured the emotional and the attitudinal response to commercials, as well as we measured outcomes like brand strengths, as well as purchase consideration and much more. But then we added very important ingredients. We did an ad profiling. We used a content analysis framework in order to quantify what's really happening in a spot. So we gathered all those exciting data, but how can we understand what is the impact of a creative tactics onto outcomes? So it turns out that correlation or conventional key driver modeling were of limited help. And this is why we applied a robot, an artificial intelligence-based key driver analysis. So the learning was, it's not enough to create emotions. It's really important to create the right emotions. So the finding is, both don't work. Don't be one of those losers that don't take the right medication. It is boring and not believable to claim, yeah, you can trust me. You don't gain trust by telling, dear customer, you can trust me. That's not how it works, right? So a bank should show that its purpose of its financial service is it to support customers in what they truly care for, to care for their loved ones. Indeed, your instinct is similar to what the industry is doing. 50% of spirit spots use belonging because alcohol is enjoyed in the company of others. But the robot has found this doesn't work. It even harm, compared to competition, your performance. You can have fun with any kind of drink. It doesn't really relate what this brand is doing to the customer. The simple, empirical, and intuitive truth is that spirits should embrace its unique indulgence. And think about the millions of dollars that are wasted every year by building on the wrong emotional triggers. If you want to convey a message, you should use the simplest and most direct way, putting a person in front of the screen and telling the customer what needs to be told. Let me summarize. We built this software robot in order to understand what's the DNA of successful advertising. And we found dozens of interesting insights, which are often very different per category. The 3 I showed you today is that emotions, positive emotions, are mandatory, always. Second, the currently commonly used emotional triggers typically don't work, so it's worthwhile to go against the current. And third, creatives are driven by the new. Even more important so to learn that there are very old school tactics that really work. We have a lot of data and we have little hypotheses how they relate to each other. And this is why we needed a platform which is self-learning, which is able to self-learn unexpected nonlinearities and unexpected interactions. Conventional statistics have rigid assumptions. They often build on linearity and independence of drivers. Artificial intelligence is flexible. Yeah? It adapts to the real data and helps us to identify things we don't know upfront. The second reason is that we needed a methodology which identifies unknown indirect effects. Because, for instance, TV spendings are often underestimated in marketing mix modeling because there are indirect effects. People start to Google when they see an ad, they click on AdWords and then buy, so AdWords get all the credit. But the root cause is TV. It's the same with this lamp. You don't see the light source, but still it's light in the room, right? These are indirect causal effects. And this is why we didn't model an input-output relationship. We built a causal network of effects so that we, at the end, understand the total effect of something. So finally, did we were successful in identifying the DNA of successful advertising? So at least we come closer. Now, conventional key driver modeling would achieve an explanation power of 0.3. The AI achieved the explanation power of 0.62. Plus, we added the explanation due to the indirect effects, which added another 51%. So this means the robot explains by factor 3.1 better how advertising works. So this means, yes, we were successful in building a system which better than ever helps us to outperform competition.